I applied to 21 colleges this year as a part of the class of 2025 and got admitted into the Ivy League! If you haven't seen my last video where I react to my college decisions and also share my stats, extracurriculars, and give some general admissions advice, be sure to give that a watch before you watch this video by clicking on the info card right here. I always wanted to do that. In this video, as highly requested in the comments of the last reaction video, I will be reading my personal statement as well as the essays that got me into Dartmouth. But before we begin, I have a massive disclaimer. Wait, you do not have my permission to copy and paste or reuse any part of my essays. That is considered plagiarism and will cost you your admissions. The purpose of this video is to show you the essays that I wrote with my own merit to get into my college and to hopefully provide you with some ideas of what to write for your own essays. If you're even applying to college right now, I know some of you are either done that or some of you are not even going to start doing that for a long time. Also, because of holistic application evaluations, I have no clue how much merit these essays had in getting me into Dartmouth. So do with that information what you will. So, without further ado, let's start with my personal statement. Wow, where did this come from? Alright, well, so this is my personal statement, and you know, the personal statement is what you write to kind of give a background of yourself and your own life, and I had to break out the paper to make it seem more official, so let's see where this goes. There's, I believe, 5 or 6 prompts that you can choose from, and the prompt that I chose for my personal statement is: some students have a background, identity, interest, or talent that is so meaningful that they believe their application would be incomplete without it. If this sounds like you, then please share your story. Pixar's Ratatouille and its vibrant animation introduced me to the culinary world. Since then, I've taken Auguste Gusteau's words, "anyone can cook," to heart and set out to master countless dishes. After years of experiencing the unique flavors and cuisines of the world, however, no dish will ever touch my heart more than my favorite 3. Bread. My mother constantly jokes that I eat so much of it that I'm bound to turn into a loaf one day, and I have to concur. I started making ciabatta bread for its rustic crust and pillow-like texture. Then I moved to dinner rolls, baguettes, milk bread, croissants, and finally challah bread. Just challah. Perfecting my techniques for each dish gave me joy and fueled my ambition to make the best bread. However, when I ventured into cinnamon rolls, I encountered an irritating problem. The dough smelled and tasted like alcohol. At first, I blamed stale ingredients, but even fresh, same-day bought ingredients didn't fix it. After wasting hours and countless batches, I discovered that alcohol is a byproduct of yeast. It wasn't about bad ingredients, it was about imbalance. The recipe called for 2 cups of flour and 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. But after doubling the flour to 4 cups, I ended up with the best cinnamon rolls I've ever eaten. Fried rice. I began my journey by throwing some leftover white rice into a pan with diced onions and soy sauce. Pretty dull, right? After introducing more ingredients, however, I couldn't perfect the texture. The rice would turn out mushy or crunchy. I found myself questioning everything. Was it the type of pan I'm using? The type of rice? Was I cooking the rice too long or not long enough? After more experimentation, I learned that the amount of water used during cooking and the rice's temperature before hitting the pan significantly impact the final texture. Initially, I would use a deep skillet to make my fried rice, but when my neighbor, a Thai restaurant owner, taught me that a wok is ideal for evenly distributing heat, I immediately bought one. After using less water and ensuring the rice was at room temperature before frying, I finally achieved my perfect fried rice. Dukana, with the phonetics right next to it in case you didn't know how to pronounce it, but I do. A sweet potato dumpling boiled in banana leaves. A few years after my first taste, my mother brought me to her home island of Antigua for Christmas 2023. I was blown away by Antigua's beauty and its people's kindness, but what fascinated me most were the culinary similarities and differences between Antigua and the US. While we often enjoy apples, bananas, strawberries, and oranges in the States, the Caribbean boasts a treasure trove of exotic fruits like sugar apple, soursop, guinep, and dums. Upon returning home, my mother and grandmother taught me how to make traditional dishes like stewed chicken, jerk chicken, chop up, a mixture of eggplant, spinach, and okra that is boiled and then mashed, mastiff bread, a deliciously soft bread, and of course, dukana. Whenever I think of the Caribbean, I'm reminded of my first experience with dukana, how its sweetness opened my taste to a world of new flavors and foreign dishes. As I grew older, I began indulging in cooking-related media such as Hell's Kitchen, Nailed It, and various shows on Food Network. While watching these shows, I wrote down the names of dishes I wanted to taste, found recipes for them online, and made them, which is how I added beef Wellington, sticky toffee pudding, and lomo saltado to my skill set. I'll always cherish my favorites, but I'm always searching for new things to explore. For with enough hard work, practice, and patience, I can do anything. As I move forward into the next phase of my life, I'm eager to continue exploring new opportunities, whether in the culinary world or beyond, and to always ask myself, what's next? One thing that really intrigues me about this essay is how relatively simple it is. I simply talked about 3 foods that I love and connected them to my passions and skills. Now, I can't tell you what about this essay specifically Dartmouth loved, but if I had to take a guess of what it is, it would probably be the third body paragraph. I was able to use my experiences as a Caribbean descendant to talk about the fascinating differences in food found between the two countries and how that makes me want to travel the world and explore more foods. So, let me know what you think of that essay in the comments. Alright, essay number 2. Here we go. So, the prompt for this essay is, as you seek admission to Dartmouth's class of 2029, what aspects of the college's academic program, community, and/or campus environment attract your interest? How is Dartmouth a good fit for you? Dartmouth's unique blend of rigorous academics and a close-knit community makes it the perfect fit for me. As a computer science major, I'm excited by Dartmouth's interdisciplinary.
Have you ever had a dream that you could do so
interdisciplinary approach, which will allow me to integrate technology with my passion for the arts. Also, Dartmouth's vibrant theater scene offers numerous opportunities to engage in performance and production. Dartmouth's collaborative atmosphere aligns with my values, providing a space where I can thrive academically and personally while contributing to a community that values both intellectual growth and creative expression. Alright, so completely forgetting that terrible stutter I had that I did not do, this is a really simple essay, you just talk about what Dartmouth, will give to you, and maybe even a little bit of how you'll contribute to Dartmouth, just a little bit, but specifically, what is it about Dartmouth? It's a why us essay. Why is Dartmouth a good fit for me? So, nothing too special about this essay, as a lot of this is very common for a lot of universities, but Dartmouth definitely hones in on its tight-knit community, considering how once you get to campus, you'll never need to go far to get anything that you need, and that's one thing I really like about Dartmouth. It's not too big while also not being too small, so the community there, I'm sure, is going to be really nice, and everyone there is so kind. It's absolutely lovely. 2 down, 2 to go. We're halfway there, folks. Alright, so for our second Dartmouth Supplemental essay, there are 2 different prompts that you could choose for this essay, and the one I chose is, there is a Quaker saying, let your life speak. Describe the environment in which you were raised and the impact it has had on the person you are today. After a bad experience with a toxic friend group, I became withdrawn and distanced myself from others. But this changed after joining the cast of my junior year spring musical. From painting t-shirts in the park, going to Chipotle, or playing werewolf, being part of the cast has given me invaluable memories and numerous relationships I deeply cherish. However, The other creative teams of North Penn High School Theater were disconnected, leading to many being excluded. As such, I created a Discord server for every person who participates in NPHS Theater to come together and have fun with one another, whether they're part of the cast, crew, costume crew, or pit orchestra. This Discord server embodies my belief in inclusivity as someone who was often excluded, and I'll bring this commitment to Harvard.
Oh my God!
Whether I'm participating in a club activity or attending the winter carnival with my friends. Oh, how did I get it? Yo, okay, so yes, that is the exact verbatim essay I sent to Dartmouth. I called Dartmouth Harvard. It's shameful, really. From what I heard, this is usually case for automatic rejection. But I low-key have no clue whether they even noticed that because, well, I still got in. Oh my gosh. Well, so I guess what I want to say in regards to that is you shouldn't really spend every hour of the day stressing over your college applications because college admission officers are going to understand a typo or two as long as it's just that, a typo or two. Because you're not going to create the most perfect essays, and college admission officers should know that. I hope they know that. I spent days on my Columbia essays, more time than any other supplemental essay I wrote for any of the other 20 colleges I applied to, and I still got flat out rejected. I mean, for Colgate, I didn't even do their optional supplemental essays, and I still got in. For Dartmouth, I didn't even do the peer supplement, the peer review thing, and I still got in. So please, 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 please don't stress too hard over these stupid 250-word supplemental essays. I'm calm. Last essay. So, this is the last essay, and we had 5 prompts to choose from this time. Ooh. And the final essay prompt of this video is, labor leader and civil rights activist Dolores Huerta recommended a life of purpose. We must use our lives to make the world a better place to live, not just to acquire things, she said. That is what we are put on the earth for. In what ways do you hope to make, or are you already making, an impact? Why? How? Dramatic effect. I was born and raised in North Philly before I moved to Lansdale, PA, at 8 years old. Having the opportunity to experience both school systems, I can never look at the numerous opportunities available at my school and not feel disheartened that many schools in Philly don't even have a fraction of those same opportunities. As someone fortunate enough to attend a more privileged school with a stellar education, I decided that I needed to do something to contribute to my childhood community. My mother owns a child care center in North Philly, full of kids from kindergarten to 8th grade that attends either public or charter schools. With that, I would go down to my mother's center and teach the kids math, grammar, financial literacy, how to tell time, cook, cybersecurity, and other essential life skills. To do this, I used games such as Monopoly, Roblox, and Trivia to make learning fun, engaging, and memorable. As someone who grew up reading, I also strongly encourage them to read whenever possible, because I believe reading is fundamental to success in life. From this experience, I learned how much of a natural I am at teaching others and how fun it is to see the smiles on others' faces when they succeed. These kids are our society's future, and I genuinely believe that investment in them is an investment into a better tomorrow. And I believe it. And this is something that actually saddens me so much so every single time I think about it. The educational and opportunity disparities between my school district and the majority of the school districts in Philadelphia is huge. I can only wonder where my family and me specifically would be if we hadn't moved out of North Philly when I was 8. Now, I'm not saying that kids in Philly are dumb because Philly, they're going to end up nowhere in life because it's Philadelphia, blah. No. Many kids in Philly go on to be very successful and even get into top institutions in Ivy Leagues just like me. However, there are some things I saw in the kids at my mom's daycare that had me worried about this next generation. There are kids in 5th grade who can't tell time on an analog clock, do basic addition or subtraction, I'm talking 2 plus 2, 5 minus 3, or read a children's book. But they sure as know how to make a TikTok, or show you how to play Mario Kart, or show you how to W-tap in Minecraft, whatever the heck that is. So, with technology ever increasing, we need to be extremely careful how we're presenting technology to our youth, especially with how addicting it can be. I mean, I myself was an iPad kid. I used to sit on my iPad and play Roblox, Minecraft, Five Nights at Freddy's. But, I mean, I use my iPad to actually teach myself things, okay? I play Roblox for hours, not just because it was fun, but because there were so many games on there that actually taught me about the world, and how it works, and how to use technology. And I didn't throw no tantrums when iPad time was over, okay? No sorry, I was not that brat. Although I was a troublemaker. I was not a good kid. I was a bad kid when I was little. I'm gonna be so for real. It's a miracle I turned out the way I did. But all in all, this is something that I think we should all work towards, closing the bridge between these gaps. I mean, we're 2 counties away, Montgomery and Philadelphia County, literally on the border of each other. And the difference once you cross that line, it's astounding. It really is. And so it has come to an end. Those were all the essays that I used in my 2025 Dartmouth application that resulted in me getting admitted. So, please feel free to let me know what you think of all those essays in the comments below. But my channel, first and foremost, is a gaming channel, so come say hi to me during one of my live streams. I stream live every week, either on Friday or Saturday, or sometimes on Tuesdays or Thursdays randomly, but definitely every Friday and or Saturday. And you can also leave a comment in one of my videos. I'll always respond to your comments. So, thank you so very much for watching, and as always, go green!